out here just inside the base. Dassault Mirage F1 from 1979. Wow, it's got rocket pods on the side. This is like a attack, ground attack. Sepakat Jaguar 1977. Crazy cool. We're not even in the museum yet, and we're already seeing awesome aircraft. IAI Kefir C2. What is this? IAI, is that Israeli? No. Maybe? I don't know. This is really cool. Oh yeah, Israeli Aircraft Industries. Anyway, I got so excited I didn't even do an intro. Welcome. We're here at the Air Force Base in Quito, Ecuador, and we're going to go see Air and Space Museum because, you know, I love aircraft. I'm nerdy about this stuff. And here inside the base, up this way a couple of blocks, there is an Air Force Museum, Air and Space Museum, and we're going to go check it out. It was a little iffy whether or not it was going to be open, but it is open. And I had to leave my passport at the gate because it's an Air Force base, and they gave me a little lanyard that I can wear as a visitor. We're going to walk up here, we're going to see the Air Force Museum. So come along. Before we do that, I just want to say real quick, thank you very much for watching the video. Click the like button and the subscribe button and leave a comment down below. It's free, it's easy, and it will help the channel grow and help this content reach other YouTube viewers. Alright, back to the video. There it is right there. Museo Aeronáutico del Espacio. But before we go in, right out here, there's some planes out here on the lawn. There's actually one right across the way there. I don't know what that one is. Honestly, I don't know what any of these are. Let's be really honest. A lot of these I'm not going to know. Some of them I'm going to know, but a lot of them I will not know what they are. And any airplane nerds down in the comments are going to have to help me. Like this one, I have no idea. This one also, no idea. Super cool though. These are like, I mean, these must be like ground attack planes, right? They got bombs on the wings. This one's big and fat. Look at this boy. That's a big boy. We had another video like this. We went and visited an Air and Space Museum in Santiago, Chile. And that actually ended up being, well, so far, the most popular video on this channel by far. A lot of interest in that, which is good because, like, I'm really interested in this kind of stuff. Oh, there's a sign for this one. This is a North American T-28D. Cool. Yeah, I'm really interested in this stuff. I think it's cool. I love going to an Air and Space Museum. If there is one, I'll go see it. In addition to that one in Chile, we went to what was not actually an Air and Space Museum, but it was a war memorial just outside of Cordoba in Argentina. There was a war memorial to the Las Malvinas. And it was out in this big like park, and there were a lot of aircraft just sort of like out in the park. So it was kind of like seeing a museum. Of course, that video, you know, we were at a war memorial, so it was a lot more somber than just going to see a museum. Anyway, this thing's cool. What is this? I don't know what this is. Some sort of jet aircraft. This one as well. Super cool, painted up like a shark. I love it when they do that on airplanes. These two look like the same kind of plane. Oh, just stepped in a hole, turned an ankle. Don't worry, I'm okay. I know you were really worried. I'm fine. Wow. Same as in the the video that we made in Santiago. We haven't even gotten inside the museum yet, and we're already nerding out over airplanes. Look at this thing. What is this? Oh wait, there's a sign here for this one. Can figure out what this is. Defenso. Oh no, this is just about the Air Force, I think. Oh no, this is a. Oh okay. Oh wait, I know what this is. Yeah, this is a Bombardero MK6 Canberra from England. Okay, so we've seen these before. Actually, we saw one of these outside in the backyard, basically, of the Air Force Museum in Santiago, and we also saw one of these in that video outside of Cordoba, because the Argentine Air Force flew these as well. I think it's like a bomber attack aircraft / maybe recon also. Super cool. This is cool. We're actually able to get up really close to this thing. We weren't able to get up this close to the one in Santiago. You can actually see up inside. This must be where the bombardier sits. This is like a bomb site maybe. This is cool. This is so cool. Alright, we've spent 10 minutes already just nerding around, nerding out outside. I think it's time. I think it's time we go inside. There it is. Museo Aeronáutico y del Espacio. Escuadrón de Combate AT-33. This is this plane, not this plane, I mean it's a model, but flew a total of 177 missions. I don't know exactly what this one is. Has missiles on top of the wings. That's quite odd. I guess that's also a Mirage F1, but did they really mount missiles on top of the wings of this thing? Is that a thing? I've never seen that before. Okay, airplane nerds, if you're there, if you're out there, if you're watching, let me know down in the comments. Is this a thing? Did they actually launch missiles from the top of the wing of a Mirage F1? Here, the Sepakat Jaguar. These are basically the three planes that we saw out in front, right up by the gate during our introduction. Of course, there are actual planes in here as well, like this thing. But, oh, yo, check it out. Ejector seat. This is cool. See, this is cool. So this museum is I would say it's a lot smaller than the museum in Santiago. And the museum in Santiago was it was big. They had a lot of planes. But they got an ejector seat here from a Canberra and a Meteor. That's cool. We didn't get to see that in Santiago. There's the Canberra, yeah. This is a operating manual, pilot notes for Canberra and a Meteor. Damn, that's cool. 1958. Pilot's notes, Canberra. I guess this Canberra is a very popular aircraft amongst air forces here in South America, because we've been to 3 countries. We've seen 3 examples of it for 3 different countries. Argentina, Chile, and now here in Ecuador. That's cool. There's more photos back here of different planes, helicopters, transport planes, transport helicopters. Let's see. De Havilland, Canada DHC-5 Buffalo transport aircraft. There's the C-130 Hercules, the famous C-130 Hercules. That's the cargo version. Of course, there's also the badass AC-130 version, where they basically take that thing and strap a bunch of guns to it, and it becomes like a flying artillery platform that can, just like bomb shit from way, way up in the air. Yeah, AC-130. That's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, it's one of the craziest aircraft ideas when you think about it, right? Like, who came up with that? They were sitting around one day and they're like, we're going to take this cargo plane. What would happen if we strapped a bunch of artillery on that thing? Then someone was like, well, how much artillery and how big? The Air Force was like, yes. Some helicopters. Let's see. Do we recognize any of these? Well, there. Classic Bell 212 Huey. Recognize that. This guy, the Alouette. This French helicopter. I think we saw one of these in the museum in Chile. Here's another Bell Sea Ranger. A Sikorsky. This is an older Sikorsky. This is like back it got here in 1965. It arrived in Ecuador. But it's probably made first before that. Oh, okay, so this is what we saw outside. Lockheed T-33 Silver Star. Cool. We saw this outside too. This big boy. Big chunky boy. North American T-28 Trojan. Cool. So cool. And that too, I think, we saw. That was like the first one outside. North American AT-6 Texan. Looks like these are all like trainers or ground attack aircraft. What do we have here? Senora Ermelinda Briones, born in Ambato, 1905, 26 September 1905. First female Ecuadorian pilot. Flew direct to New York. Oh no, from New York to Montreal, Canada. Huh. Cool. And Sergeant Maria Flores, born 10th January 1939 in Pinchicha. The first female pilot in the FAE, the Fuerza Aérea Ecuatoriana. So the first female pilot in the Air Force, in the Ecuadorian Air Force. Cool. Oh, and here, this is Ermelinda Uravina. Oh yeah, same person. Ermelinda Uravina Mayorga de Briones. Cool. Was born in 1905. Died in 2008. Flew from New York. Flew from New York and Washington to Baltimore. Confused. Very confused. Flew from New York to Montreal. Very cool. La Banda de Música de la Primera Zona Aérea. The Air Force Band. Cool. These are instruments from, I guess, the first Air Force Band, maybe? Musical director, Victor Burger. Cool. Alright. We've been avoiding looking at the actual planes. But here they are. Just a few planes in here on the inside. Like I said, it's a pretty small museum. Inside is really just back to that wall back there. And there's like a little place in there that we'll go see. But first, yo, check this stuff out. So this plane, we can look inside this. Let's look inside. Cool. Check it out. Imagine taking a flight in this thing, man. That's the thing. I'm cool with like taking flights in like normal like giant airplanes, but man, like taking a flight in an old rickety one like this, I don't know. I when I was a real little kid, I took a flight in like a very small plane, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, but like I don't know, like towards the end I started to get airsick, and like when I landed, like once we got off the ground, I got out of the plane, I just threw up like right on the tarmac. That was fun. This is cool. What is this? There's a little plaque here. El avión telégrafo. In the year 1920 for Señor José Abel Castillo. This plane did something very important. Or perhaps not. See, there's another plaque over here. An expression of solidarity, the noble objectives, and a symbol of past military respect of the cadets of the Colegio Militar Eloy Alfaro. Oh, we know that name. Eloy Alfaro, he was president of Ecuador back in like the early 1900s. He's the guy who was like integral in creating the railway, right? The railway from Guayaquil up to Quito that went through Riobamba. We got a video about that railway actually in when we were in Riobamba. Check that out. Link in the description. Well, apparently it's a famous aircraft, and I don't know exactly why, because I'm having a bad Spanish day, guys. It's not a good day. We're not understanding a lot. I've been having to ask ¿qué? A lot today when people have been talking to me. I was talking to the taxi driver on the way over here, and man, I did not understand much that guy was saying. I think we had an okay conversation, but most of the time, someone will say something to me, I won't understand. I'll just be like, yeah, okay, sure, see, and I'll nod, and then I just notice a very brief, weird look that they give me because I just said yes to something that, like, obviously I wasn't supposed to say yes to, or they weren't expecting me to say yes to. You know? How much artillery do you want on this plane, and how big? Yes. Kind of like that. I don't know what kind of plane this is either. It's cool though. 2-seater. Here's some old, this is like old. Like, you know, first Air Force of Ecuador or something like that. Yeah, inauguración primeros vuelos en Ecuador, the inaugurating first flights in Ecuador. Cool. Oh, here's a Catalina seaplane. This is we saw one of these too. I think there was one of these in the museum in Santiago. I think it was that one. It was either that or a very similar, like, seaplane. Some models here. These must be like a historical old. Super cool. Look at this. Look at these things. These super old ones, like, honestly. The people that flew these things, crazy. Because this is like something that someone made in their backyard, basically. I mean, not really, but like, more or less, right? It's like one dude who had one little factory and he made an airplane. And then someone agreed to fly it before, like, you even knew whether it was going to work or not. Test pilots, man. Test pilots are the craziest MFs. Seriously. Respect to all the test pilots out there. Because one thing to, like, pilot a plane when you already know that it's going to work. It's another thing to pilot a plane to be the one who, like, figures out that it doesn't work. Some uniforms. Winter uniform. Here. It's an older uniform, older flight suit here to go with the older plane. And there's a, oh, I didn't even notice. There's a big parachute up there on the ceiling. That's cool. With a dude hanging from it. Look at this. There you go. Test pilots. Very important, right? Parachute. Probably going to need it. Cool. Oh, okay. Here's what this plane is. It's a PT-198 Galileo. From Brazil. Yeah, because this is in Portuguese. And I read Spanish very poorly. I don't read Portuguese at all, so that says something. No, I'm kidding. You can kind of read Portuguese, right, if you read Spanish. Brazilian Air Force from the Brazilian Air Force to the Ecuador Air Force. This airplane, T-19PP GZN, to be included here in the museum from a friendly country. In 1985, they gave it. That's cool. That's a good gift to show that your country and another country are friendly. Like, we're going to give you this cool old airplane. You can put it in your museum, in your Air Force base. Because we're bros. That's cool. I like that. Some old pictures. Oh, here it is. The Telegrafo Uno. That's the biplane that we saw over there. So I guess, yeah, this is probably just like one of the first, if not the first plane, right? In Ecuador, making the first flight. That's cool. And it's over there. We saw it. We'll go take a look at it again before we leave. Look at this guy. Captain Agustin Zambrano, returning to Ecuador from Italy, 1928. Man. You imagine flying from Italy all the way here in 1928? I mean, you have to stop up, obviously, a bunch of times to refuel in different places, but like to go from all the way from Italy, whew, crazy. That's nuts. Let's go back and see the Telegrafo. There it is, telégrafo número uno. Cool. All right. I've seen everything that there is to see out this part of the museum. Let's go up in here and see what there is. I don't know exactly what's in this room. Buenos días. So there's some plaques, a little theater. Some more models in here. Oh, this is some very, very old airplanes here. Biplane. Flew in Ecuador in 1912. Wow. Okay, so maybe that plane out there, not the first. This one, the first. Here's our C-130. Oh, and there's the Chile. LA and Chile, right? The Línea Aérea Nacional de Chile, Chilean airline, which we saw. There was a whole like room section of that about the Chilean national airline in the museum in Chile, and I found out later that that airline became LATAM, the airline, the current day present airline LATAM is that basically. Oh, here we go. Okay, so these are all the U.S. Air Force planes. FA-18s, F-16s. There's a F-4 Phantom right there. The C-130. This guy, I don't know that guy. Let's go around to the other side. F-16, F-15, another F-15, F-4. Oh, there's the space shuttle Discovery launching off a plane. They used to launch them that way, off of planes. Well, now they don't launch them at all. The space shuttle program's over. Some cool off-aircraft carrier photos. Yo, look at that. That's cool. Well, that's it. We've seen it. The Museo Aeronáutico y Espacio of Ecuador here in Quito. That was cool. I'm really glad we came. I'm glad they let us in. Oh, there's another plane's. Wait a minute, hold on. I don't think we're done yet. I thought we were done, but I see right over here across the street, there's more planes. Look at this. All right, there's more over here. We're gonna check it out. What I was saying though is I'm glad we came, and I'm glad they let us in. Because it's on a military base, from the research I did about whether or not I was going to be able to get in here and like whether it was going to be open or not, it was sort of mixed. It was a mixed bag. A lot of the older reviews said, yeah, it's open and it's great. You should come see it. Then there were some reviews that were like, no, it's closed because of the pandemic. Then there were some reviews that are like more recent that are like, yeah, it's open. Then there were some really recent reviews that were like, it's closed because of the state of emergency, right? Which was declared from like January of this year up until like April, like basically like right before we came here to Ecuador, the country was in a state of emergency because of like crime and domestic terrorism and stuff like that happening mostly down in like Guayaquil. But because of that, like the military was on high alert, and apparently this was closed and we weren't able to come in. But super cool that we were able to come in here. Man, check it out. This thing's got a missile on the side. I think that's a Sidewinder, right? It's got a on the front like a thermal sensor, right? Because it's heat seeking. Just homes in on a heat source and boom. The Mirage F1. We saw one of these out in front. And it looks like there's a auditorium from the air school, the like Air Force school. There's some sort of ceremony or something is going on in there. Maybe a lecture or something. I can hear it. This is the Jaguar, right? Sepakat Jaguar. So I'm guessing those are like the two planes that are like most prominent in the in Ecuador's Air Force. The F1, Mirage F1, and this Sepakat Jaguar, because I've seen a lot of these. There were ones, you know, right out there by the front gate, and then, you know, models of ones inside the museum, and then this, like out here. Cool. So cool. Oh, whoa, look at this. There's a ton more back here in the backyard. Yo. Yeah, here we go. Sepakat Jaguar MK1 Mark 1. Alright, let's look real quick at these ones in the backyard. I thought we were going to end the video like right there when we walked out of the museum. I didn't know all this stuff was back here. Douglas DC-68 Cloudmaster. Transport. Oh, okay, so it's just transport plane. Transport of cargo and passengers. Cool. Another cargo plane. It looks like cargo slash passenger plane. Douglas C-47 Skytrain cargo plane and passenger plane. C-47. Another, some sort of passenger plane. I'm interested. This one doesn't have a sign. This little guy right here. It looks a lot like a trainer plane. I don't see a sign. If anybody knows, right? Anybody in the comments knows what kind of plane this is, you let me know. I'll get up close. We'll take a look. Single engine, propeller plane. What do we think? What are we thinking? What kind of plane is it? Let me know in the comments. Here's another smaller, looks like a passenger plane, maybe trainer. Got a broken windscreen. Cessna Model 337 Skymaster. Passenger plane. Oh, look at this one. Oh, yo, this thing's cool. The Apache Princess. That's cool. What's this here? Beechcraft. Expeditor C-45 transport plane. From 1945. Alright, the Apache Princess. Now here, there's another one that doesn't have a sign. So I don't know what kind of plane this is. So help me out down in the comments once again. What kind of plane is she? The Apache Princess. What kind of plane is this? It's pretty old. Looks, honestly, looks like World War II era. The Apache Princess. But I don't know. You gotta help me out. Once again, I need your help down in the comments. Tell me. Apache Princess, what kind of plane? Super cool, whatever kind of plane it is. Oh, here's the, this is the Catalina, right? Yeah, we definitely saw one of these in the Chilean Air Force Museum in Santiago. This seaplane, I remember this. I remember seeing it and thinking it looked like real weird, like the kind of plane that Homer Simpson would design. Really cool though. Seaplane. And then over here, helicopter. This is a Sikorsky. There were a few of these at the museum in Santiago too, out in front. Sikorsky. If you end up watching this video and you weren't someone who came to this video from that other video, the one in Santiago, you should watch that one. I'm linking it in the description, of course, because that museum was really cool too. There were a lot of awesome planes there as well. And there it is, the C-130 that we've been talking about throughout this video. Here's one. Here's an actual one. Cool. C-130 cargo plane. And this is the thing. This is the thing that someone looked at and was like, I think we should put guns on it. And they were like, how many guns? They're like, yes. So basically, for what I mean by the AC-130, right? When I'm talking about it, for people who don't know, who are watching this video, which honestly everybody who's watching this video probably knows this already, but I'll say it anyway. They basically took one of these, and inside they got rid of all the cargo space, and they mounted like all kinds of, you know, targeting computers and whatnot, and basically they stuck giant guns of different sizes. One like a Vulcan cannon, basically like a Gatling gun style machine gun. Also like a auto cannon. I'm not sure exactly the size, maybe like a 20 millimeter, 30 millimeter auto cannon, 40 millimeter. Basically an auto cannon, and then also a big ass, like basically like a tank gun, like 120 millimeter or something like that. I'm not sure exactly of the caliber of the different guns. Someone, I'm sure in the comments, will correct me. Like, they stuck them basically through the side of the plane, and the plane will fly up in the air super high, and it'll bank sideways, right? It'll bank so that the guns point down to the ground, and then using like pretty advanced targeting computers and cameras, they will just light up targets on the ground from way, way up. It's basically like on-demand artillery anywhere you can get this plane up in the air. Now, of course, it works great if you already have air superiority in the area. If you don't, this thing is basically just like a massive target. Of course, you know, it has countermeasures, it has flares and things like that, but like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to last too long if you don't have air superiority. So it's basically like once it's you know the NATO United States doctrine of we get air superiority first, then after we can bring in this thing or the AC 130 version of this thing and start shooting at ground targets with it. Crazy. Let's walk around this thing real quick. Take a look. Some other planes back there. Oh, that's the Canberras. Yeah, those are those Canberra ground attack aircraft that we've been seeing. There's a couple of them right there. And here it is. Hercules C-130B transport. And of course, you know, as a transport plane, these things are they're like workhorses. You can transport a bunch of stuff inside this thing. I think you can fit like a whole helicopter inside this thing, and you can fit like tanks and stuff in it. And the like where you load it, the cargo door on the back, it's like a ramp. I think they use these for like paratroopers as well, because while it's flying you can like open the ramp on the back, and if you're crazy enough you can jump out with a parachute into enemy territory. Yeah, cargo ramp on the back. I think like the whole thing opens up. I think you can actually you can like airdrop stuff right out of this. So the ramp has like rails on it, I guess, so that you can drop like pallets of supplies or like palletized anything really. If you have like a APC or like a Humvee or something on a pallet with parachutes, I guess you can drop it out of the back of this thing. Maybe not this exact model, but similar. If I'm wrong, people will correct me, I'm sure, down in the comments. Well, I think that's about it for the Air Force Museum here. I'm running low on battery, honestly, on the camera, because I was filming something else earlier today before we came here. Didn't get a chance to recharge the camera in between. So I think that's going to be it. Tell me in the comments, though, honestly, the Apache Princess, who is she? Who is the Apache Princess? What kind of plane is this? I'm real interested to know now. And now this Apache Princess, look, she's got bomb markings. So this is like, this Apache Princess actually dropped bombs on stuff. The markings right there. Let me know. Let me know if you know what kind of plane this is. Let me know if you know who the Apache Princess is. And other than that, I think it's time we go. I'm gonna go turn in our lanyard, get our passport back, and head out of here. One, because we've seen everything I think there is to see, and two, because it's getting cloudy and I think it's gonna rain. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I always enjoy coming to like air and space museums like this. I'm super nerdy about this stuff, and hope you enjoyed it, and stick around, because we're gonna have more videos from here in Quito, and they're gonna be good, I promise. All right, see you soon.